Welcome. This is Najma Minhas with Global Village Space. Joining me today is Mr. Waseem Akhtar, who is the former mayor of Karachi, as well as a senior MQM leader. Waseem Sahab, thank you so much for joining me today and giving me the time.
It's a pleasure, Najma.
Give me your thoughts on the Prime Minister's Karachi transformation plan.
I think a couple of hours before we had a press conference on the same issue regarding the transformation committee and their plans for Karachi to resolve the issues, pending since long. It's a good gesture and a good way forward from Prime Minister of Pakistan. This is what I was asking for since last 4 years. Not only the funds, not only to complete the pending projects of federal government, but the missing part in this plan is how government is going to strengthen the local government system.
Okay.
If you don't strengthen the system, what will happen after 3 years? The reason I'm saying this, People's Party, who is ruling this province since very long, if you look at the 12 years, in the past, what they have done with the system. And now, if we utilize so much money on all these projects pertaining to Karachi, who is going to maintain it? Where is the authority? And the functions are of local government.
Are you not happy with the Prime Minister suggested that there'll be an overarching authority that will monitor this work? Are you not happy with that suggestion?
I'm looking for a permanent solution for Karachi.
Okay.
My petition is pending before the Supreme Court since last 3 years to implement Article 140A in letter and spirit. But, still is pending. So I want, whoever the mayor is, it should be a strong government, third tier of government, as we have in all the big cities of the world.
Okay.
So this is not the function of federal government and provincial government. This is like a disaster management they are doing,
Okay.
Because
are you happy with the amount being spent? Do you think that's sufficient?
No, it's not sufficient.
Okay.
This is the amount is for you can say for emergency. That's all I can say.
I think 1.1 trillion. I mean, how much more would you have expected?
It's a continuous process, Najma.
Okay.
It's a continuous process. First of all, I'll talk to you on how the government should strengthen this third tier of government. Unless they do that, it's just not the solution. I'm looking for.
So you think local government is what is needed, which is even more important than the transformation plan?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Okay.
So the reason now the money who are going to spend is Sindh government. The past experience is, they have done nothing.
Okay.
Okay, and they're utilizing the funds which was for local government. Sindh government was using that money that was for local government.
Okay.
All the departments which were under KMC, by notification, they have taken back.
Okay.
You got my point?
Yes, yes.
So that's why my question is that this is a temporary solution. This is not a solution.
Right.
This is a management, that's all.
Right.
So
tell me, Waseem Sahab, for example, I mean, I understand your point. You're saying that basically we can't get anywhere with this transformation plan unless we have a strong local government implementing it.
And which has the protection of Constitution, which has protection of Constitution like NFC award, you know.
Okay.
Unless,
so let me take a step back then, because when you retired, when your position ended on August the 25th, you did a press conference where you expressed a lot of discontent, and you were almost, people said, crying during that press conference. What was it that frustrated you during your tenure of 4 years?
Najma, I have experience of Karachi politics. I think it's about now 35 years.
Yeah.
I was Minister Local Government, I was Advisor Home, I was Minister Housing and Town Planning.
Right.
So, experience of Karachi, what are the priorities of the city? When I started my office, the problem faced by me was like a nightmare, like, since last 4 years, I am under stress. I cannot tell you how much stress I had in last 4 years.
Okay, what was responsible for that stress?
Government of Sindh, what they have done, if you go through the Act, SLGA 2013 Act, all the functions which were for, which are KMC's responsibility, Government of Sindh has taken them back.
Okay.
The departments like Water Board, the department like Building Control Authority, Master Plan, Solid Waste Management Board, Transport, this is the function of KMC. So they have taken back all the departments, and now, of course, everybody is looking at me, the mayor, that I'm going to resolve the problem. I don't
and everyone's comparing you to Mustafa Kamal. So how do you feel about that? Why, for example, when people have very positive opinions about the achievements of Mustafa Kamal, mayor, versus your tenure, what would you say are the differences?
The difference is like all the department which is handled by Sindh government, that time, that SLGO was 2001 SLGO, all the functions were with Mustafa Kamal.
Okay.
All the was supporting him. Finance Minister of Sindh was supporting him. He was from MQM. I was advisor local government. I was supporting him. PND Minister was supporting him. Governor was MQM. And Musharraf Sahab.
Okay.
Out of all, Musharraf Sahab was supporting him, you know, with all the money, 29 billion rupees, which came directly to his account.
Okay. So is the difference because you were in power, or is the difference the Local Government Act of 2001 versus 2013? What's the difference? So the question I'm trying to ask is it because you were in power that he had this support, or is it because he was operating under the Local Government Act of 2001?
He was, of course, in 2001 Act, all the departments were with him, you know. He was heading all the departments. And, of course, the budget, he was making, generating revenue out of those departments. And direct funding was coming from Islamabad to KMC, you know, that time CDGK.
Okay.
He was enjoying all the powers.
So can you give us a comparison? For example, by his final year, if you remember any numbers, what was the amount that he had in his hand to spend versus how much you have or had?
My budget is 24 billion only.
Okay.
You know? And Musharraf gave him about 29 billion directly to his account. And the amount he was generating through all those departments, property tax, betterment tax, commercialization, octroi, you know, he had all the money, you know. I don't have the figures, exact figures at the moment.
Right.
Big difference. I think I have sent you the functions also.
Sure, no, that would be great. But the thing is, it seems that when you stood for election, you already knew this. I mean, you stood for election in 2015-16, right? So you knew this was going to happen to you. So why did you stand for election?
I was sure that this question is going to come up. I'm a political worker and I belong to a political party, who enjoyed the vote bank of the city, especially since long. We are in the government. If you look at the third tier of government, so I cannot leave the space like that. We have to contest, of course, and my party nominated me, so I don't have other option. I had to, and I contested this election. I won this election from jail. I was in the jail before my party nominated me. I was not having a single FIR on me. After my nomination, I had 40 FIRs. They tried to stop me for contesting election like anything. So I had to, and I contested the election. I came out from the jail after all the, what happened to me. I cannot tell you on this, what they have tried on me. So after that, it was a big challenge for me with all these functions, how I'm going to deliver. But I raised my voice to strengthen the third tier of government. Since last 4 years, I'm doing this. Nobody remembers, nobody knows the name of any mayor in Pakistan, except for Waseem Akhtar. I was struggling for this local government system. Unless you strengthen this system, you cannot strengthen democracy in country.
Why didn't you resign, though? Because, I mean, this is something that even the Supreme Court observed, that if you were so distressed with what was happening to you and your helplessness, why didn't you resign in protest?
Is not a solution again. Resigning is the easiest thing to do, to resign. But I accepted the challenge. I faced all the difficulties. And I am still trying to strengthen the system. That's why I'm in the court, Supreme Court. My petition is pending.
Right. So the new elections that are happening for the mayor, do you think there's a chance that the Local Government Act may get?
I don't think so, because it's only Karachi. It's the wrong policy since last 70 years. And after the transfer of capital from Karachi to Islamabad, nobody bothered to look behind what is going on with Karachi.
Right.
I don't think so. There will be a change in the system regarding Karachi, because all the revenue comes from the city. For Sindh, it's 95%. Who's going to leave this, the city? Who's going to leave all these departments from where they get the funds? That's the only reason. It's only money, not people's problem.
Right.
It's money. That's all.
So it's interesting you mentioned that since the capital was moved to Islamabad in 1960, how Karachi has suffered in many ways, right? So
I couldn't get your.
So Waseem, what I'm asking is, do you support the idea of making Karachi a federal territory?
No, not really. I am in favor of strengthening the third tier of government.
Okay, so you think the solution is strengthening local government?
Yes, and giving that government a protection, like NFC award in the Constitution of Pakistan.
Okay, so throughout, you think the Constitution of Pakistan, so that local government becomes an essential part of the Constitution, and that's the only way to strengthen it?
Exactly. It's a government, which has the protection of Constitution of Pakistan.
Okay.
In that way, we can, resolve the issues of this city. Otherwise, not the solution is not with the Sindh government and the federal government. Because Karachi is supporting 65% of the revenue to federal government and 95% of the revenue to Sindh government,
Right. But your party is in government right now, right? So what are you guys working on to enable this?
We had an agreement with PTI.
Is PTI on board?
Yeah, we had an agreement with PTI when we joined. We supported PTI, and we gave them the issues of Karachi and issues are related to our party. So at the moment, only one member is with the cabinet, Aminul Haq, who is holding the portfolio of IT. And still we are waiting for the second portfolio promised by Imran Khan, Prime Minister of Pakistan. So we are trying our best to support PTI and to support democracy. But unfortunately, we are not happy how we are dealt with, how they are resolving our issues related to Karachi and related to our party. Whenever we had a meeting with the PM, we remind him on all those issues which are in our agreement.
Right. So, does PTI support your asking for local governments, stronger local governments in the constitution? Because they're doing it in KP, right? KP has strong local government, is getting the financing as well. So they are implementing it in the province of KP. Is this something they're willing to consider to put into the constitution itself?
Najma, if we take the case of Karachi, I don't think so. Because when I had a meeting with PM Sahab, he was telling me, and it was in the papers also, in the media also, that he supports the local government. And from now on, he's not going to transfer funds to MNAs and MPAs. He's going to transfer the fund for this local government, And about 3 months back, I'm hearing that he's giving money to MNAs to work in the city on small schemes and to MPAs. So I don't think so. Before, when I had first meeting, the body language and the words of PM Sahab was for the system. But now what looking, why he's giving money to MNAs for all these.
Right. So one option that you have, I don't know.
KMC, he should send the money to KMC. He should send the funds to, it's the function of KMC, not MNA.
No, but he can't. Can the federal government directly send funds to KMC? Isn't that going to come via the provincial government?
They have done it. They have sent, before my tenure, they have sent about 1 billion rupees to through ISIDCL to KMC. And in Musharraf's era, he was sending the money to KMC directly from the federal government. So if they want to do it, they can do it. They can do everything like election of Senate if they are really interested.
Right. So what is your idea about the administrator? Because Karachi's also got a strong administrator that has just recently been put forward. Do you agree with that idea? Do you think he'll replace the mayor to some extent? Will he be able to achieve things that the mayor was not able to achieve?
I don't think so. Nobody can achieve in this city unless he has the powers, he has the authority, he has all the funds. So now the appointed administrator, he is not from Karachi.
Okay.
So should have consulted the biggest stakeholder of Karachi, like MQM. We are having about 80% of mandate of the city. They consulted us on this issue, and they have posted about on all the slots, administrators, nobody is from the city. Everybody is from People's Party,
Right.
Affiliated officers. Not a
Are
single
they
person
from the province?
Karachi they have posted. Not a single person.
Right.
I'm not talking about Urdu speaking.
And
What
is that
about
justification? That how will this person understand the issues that Karachi faces if he's not from that area or region?
He's not from Karachi. He don't know what are the issue of Orangi, what are the issue of India, because he served as a commissioner and he was a commissioner of this only Red South District South. He was taking care of only this area, Red Zone, where CM lives. What about Baldia? What about Malir? He doesn't know.
So he won't understand the challenges that Karachi faces.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Right. So I wanted to ask you, Waseem Saab, that one issue has been that when the central government did make this transformation plan, they also discussed the fact that they wanted to have a very active role in the water and the sewerage plans. And the Sindh government was quite resistant to that. Why is the Sindh government resistant to federal government playing a more active role with sewage and water? Because water is a massive issue for Karachi.
I think the only reason, what I understand, is that they don't want federal government to interfere in his jurisdiction. That's all.
Okay.
That's the only reason I understood.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't want powers or authority to anybody else. That's all.
Okay. So I'll take you to a slightly different issue. One more thing that you've been complaining quite a lot about is the 2017 census that took place. And the fact that the census showed that Karachi's population was only around 14 to 15 million. And I moved to Pakistan in 2008, and I remember hearing the number 20 million even then. So, I was shocked when this number came out, and you've criticized it. What do you think? What have the flaws been with this census? And how does that impact Karachi?
Najma, I think it's more than 30 million people living in the city. And the remarks of Justice of Pakistan was more than that. It directly affects on NFC award. Now, share we are getting is for half of the population. So you cannot make policies of, health policy, education policy. How? You don't know the numbers. It's a joke. It's a joke. And what about the seats? What about the election?
Which pockets of population do you think were underestimated?
The whole of the city.
So it's not that particular ethnicities may have been underestimated, but the whole city overall.
But I am taking it like that, on ethnicity, because who are living in Karachi? Population of Karachi belongs to people who migrated. They never voted since last 50 years. They never voted for People's Party.
Right.
So, and MQM is in the court on this census thing, Our petition is pending in the Supreme Court.
Okay. Who do you think benefits from this, from doing this, reducing Karachi's population?
Party.
Sorry, say that again?
People's Party is going to benefit on this issue.
Why would they benefit? Because if Karachi's population is underestimated, then Sindh's population is underestimated. Then NFC, they get less money in the NFC. So why would you say the PPP benefits?
From NFC, apart from the funds, talk about seats. We will have more seats from Karachi. We will get stronger in provincial assembly. We will get stronger in national assembly. That's the thing. That's the only reason. They don't want them to get strong. How we are treated and in the election also.
Okay, so just winding up this interview, I'd like to ask you, in terms of the Karachi transformation plan going forward, what would you advise the government? You've mentioned strengthening local governments. So basically, you perceive this to be just a short-term emergency mechanism for 3 years, but you would actually like the government to focus on local government. Do I have this right?
Oh, yes, 100%. This is the solution.
Okay.
This is the solution. Unless you strengthen the third tier of government, issues of Karachi will never be resolved.
Thank you so much for your time.